formally opened this afternoon the 2015 APEC Economic Leaders Meeting at the PICC. The historic gathering started with the leaders having a dialogue with the APEC Business Advisory Council. In his speech, the president cited the global challenges facing the economic grouping, including climate change. Rocky Ignacio with this report.
President Aquino formally opened the 2015 Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperations Leaders Summit at the Philippine International Convention Center, or PICC, by a dialogue with APEC Business Advisory Council, or ABAC. The Philippines, as chair for this year's annual economic summit, welcomed leaders of member economies led by U.S. President Barack Obama, Chinese President Xi Jinping, Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, and Russian Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev. The summit has for its theme Building Inclusive Economies, Building a Better World. The 21 global economic leaders focus on regional economic integration, enhance small and medium enterprises in regional and global markets, investment in human capital development, and establishment of a sustainable and resilient communities. In his statement, President Aquino described the country's hosting as appropriate at the time when the Philippine economy has attained its target growth after more than 2 decades. This is not the first time that the Philippines hosted the Global Economic Summit, but the President reiterated its significance, especially on the change of priorities and needs of the Philippines. President Aquino cited the global challenges, particularly the effect of climate change.
When natural calamities hit, we have to take immediate actions to make sure we not only secure our people ahead of time, but also build back better afterwards. When there are significant movements in the global economy, we need to revisit our policies to make sure our economies and our companies not only act swiftly to adjust, but remain competitive in a new environment. There is also disruption in a positive sense, where a few innovative companies broaden our technological frontiers, dramatically alter the market, and thus push all other firms to adjust to the new norm. Disruption can also be a strategy to enable government to challenge the status quo and adopt wide-ranging reforms to make sure that our progress remains equitable. Our gathering today is an exercise in positive innovation. Confronted by an increasingly complex, interconnected, and unpredictable world, we are all challenged to look at trends that may cause disruption so that we can act with resilience and craft a response with inclusivity at its core, ensuring no one is left behind. These two elements are at the heart of the report prepared by our friends at ABAC, aptly themed, Resilient, Inclusive Growth, a Fair Deal for All.
The ABAC has recommended the intensification of measures to attain inclusive growth, the establishment of a coalition in the Asia-Pacific to ensure efficient services, rule of law, and food security. An expanded APEC e-commerce and a policy framework are also part of the proposal for APEC leaders. The ABAC is the venue for recommendations and priorities in terms of development.
Excellencies and partners from ABAC, allow me to state that we in APEC are truly grateful for the efforts of ABAC. The report you presented today encourages all of us to find ways to further enhance symmetries between us and among all economies of our region towards strengthening trade and investments and promoting sustainable development and inclusive growth in the Asia-Pacific. By so doing, we open more doors of meaningful opportunity for all our citizens.
It was in 1996 when the Philippines, with 50 million population, first hosted the APEC summit. It doubled to 100 million population in 20 years. Meanwhile, President Aquino said the APEC summit would serve as another venue to do the much-needed measures to improve plight of poor Filipinos before his term ends in 2016. For the People's Television, Rocky Ignacio.